the paradox of detachment. So I had this really interesting idea this morning, and it goes like this, right? If you tried to not care about anything, you would start caring about not caring, and that would undo all of your progress. So, for example, people talk about Sigma grind sets and shit, right? So imagine you wanted to be a Sigma or whatever, and not care what anyone thinks of you, because you think that's what the Sigma does, right? But then notice you've already lost the game because you're attached to this identity of being a certain way. You care about not feeling or acting like you care. And so then the next time you're in a, say, social situation, you're going to be even more attached because you're going to think, oh, am I acting like a Sigma? Am I, do I care? Why do I feel nervous? Oh, I care, and it'll undo all of your progress. And so you'll think, I'm not detached. I'm more attached than ever because of this identity that I've created. And so the question is, how do you get around that? Because your mind is springing up weeds in a garden, right? So you have to pick them one by one, but you have to be smart, right? You have to be smart about where you target. You have to be strategic because your mind has essentially all the power. It can fight in any way it wants. It's not going to simply just yield to what you want from it. And so there's several things that I would say. First of all, it'll be better to affirm things mentally that don't rely on external reality, right? So, for example, I'm the greatest regardless of what anyone says to me is not that reliant on external reality versus I'm the strongest, because that's easy to refute. Your mind can say, no, you're not. And so you've lost. And so another thing is you can see where the importance of silencing your mind comes in, because even with the other affirmation of I'm the greatest regardless of what anyone says, your mind is still going to try and intervene and say, no, you're not. So you have to be able to silence your negative thinking so that you can actually change your beliefs and your, thinking. Probably the final point I want to make is you need to figure out how to detach yourself from your identity and your emotions and how you act. So, for example, tell yourself, right, in your affirmations that it doesn't matter how you feel or act. So not only should you affirm that, you don't care about a certain situation or something, right? You should also tell yourself that you don't care about how you feel about that situation. Because the truth is that emotions will still come, right? Even if you told yourself that you don't care about a social situation, you may still go into it and feel nervous. But then see, that's the point where your mind will just start collapsing. You'll have thoughts again of, I care, I'm a liar, I'm not anything, I'm not a Sigma or whatever. This is, and see, it starts collapsing. So the whole process you've built up this detachment and these affirmations, and then they all goes out the window. And so you really need to try in those situations, tell yourself, I don't care how I act. Maybe I'll act a certain way. People will think this, that. I don't care. I don't care how I act. I don't care what others think of me. I don't care how I feel. Right? And this has to be on top of the affirmations that you already do. And on top of the silencing your mind. You can see there's so many components to this process because it's obviously, it's like antibiotic resistance, right? Your mind is literally trying new ways. You do one affirmation, your mind will undo it with a million other weapons. Your mind is very powerful, and with this process, if you're doing it, you're trying to literally undo your own mind's programming and to add new programming. And so, of course, your mind's going to fight back, right? Of course, it's going to be difficult. And so you need to figure out which combination of activities and which things do I need to say, which ways do I need to act, what do I need to do, what do I need to think, right? Where do I need to exert my willpower? Do I need to silence my mind? Do I need to say this? Do I need to do that? And it's not just enough to just do one thing over and over. I mean, it's good sometimes, it's better than nothing, but these things, they work even better in combination. And so you need to work very hard if you're really serious about this.